No f***ing way. Oh, I'm so cooked. I'm playing Ian, bro. Yo, chat, I'm not winning this.
Guys, I was randomly streaming when I ended up facing Jynxzi on top ladder, and he was streaming as well at the same time, so today we're going to be going over that game, and after that we're going to be playing his giant graveyard deck, so I can rate how good I actually think it is. We're going to test it out on top ladder. But yeah, guys, it was very surprising that I faced Jynxzi, because normally he was just like well below me in trophies, but I was just like pushing my way up towards number 1 at this time, so I wasn't very high in trophies. And Jynxzi was actually really high at this time. He actually ended up getting all the way to number 130 in the world yesterday using Giant Graveyard, which is pretty insane. So I was playing Hog Earthquake here. He had Giant Graveyard with the Cannoneer and the Evo Furnace. I was a little bit worried here, guys, because Giant Graveyard can pretty much beat anything, no matter how hard of a counter you have to it. If they just get one lucky Evo Furnace or something like that, that could just be game over. And I also knew that the Cannoneer would definitely help him out a lot as well in this matchup, but definitely the biggest advantage for me was having the Mighty Miner, because he had no reset to it except just the Snowball evolution, which he wouldn't get to very often. He ended up going for a Furnace and Guards here. I feel like maybe he could have positioned his Guards a little bit better to not take that Fire Spirit, but I think he was just kind of panicked against me, guys, because right off the bat, I feel like he just didn't think he would win when he saw my name, but you guys will see what happens here pretty soon, man. It was kind of crazy. I got a very good Mighty Miner for the Giant. I think that Giant by him was just way too aggressive, to be honest. So I was able to get a really good Elixir trade, but I didn't really have the best cycle to punish him anyways. Also, guys, I saw that Jynxzi has been doing a lot of those 99-1 challenges against, like, Muhammad Light, Riley, Morton, maybe a couple other people, too. Man, I would love to do one against him as well, guys, so if you want me to do one against him, I guess just let Jynxzi know, and maybe it'll happen. We'll see about that. Jynxzi actually got a really good Evo Snowball to push my Furnace back. I thought I was fine, but my Evolved Furnace pretty much died. Luckily, it was able to take down the minions, but not before they got a lot of damage. I did decide to go for the Hog Rider with this because I wanted to take advantage of the Fire Spirits. Jynxzi played a Bowler, but then the Fire Spirits connected. 1, 2, 3 Fire Spirits all connected right on his tower. The fourth one almost splashed the tower, but not quite. I knew Jynxzi might go in here, so I was just getting ready to defend. Yeah, I feel like Jynxzi kept on going in at the wrong times when his Evo Snowball was not in cycle. Aside from that one time, but I feel like he kind of had to save the Snowball for the Mighty Miners a little bit more, and also he had to save the Snowball for my Hog Riders as well, which I think he wasn't really doing too much of. I think he was kind of just trying to play aggressive against me, just hoping that something crazy could happen. I got a nice Earthquake down, which was able to fully take out Jynxzi's tower, and he had his Evo Furnace spawning a lot of Fire Spirits, but I was able to just get a Mighty Miner onto it, and then for the Graveyard, I just got a nice Earthquake. I love having Earthquake over something like Lightning in this deck, because it allows you to counter the Graveyards, and I ended up surviving with like 2,000 HP on my tower, which was pretty good, and I ended up taking the win. Alright, so now we're going to be testing Jynxzi's Giant Graveyard deck on top ladder. I feel like Jynxzi has improved so much recently. Like, he was, you know, just top 10,000, it felt like a couple weeks ago, and he's been improving so quickly. So maybe this Giant Graveyard deck is actually a lot better than most people think, because I don't know, I don't really think of Giant Graveyard as being that good of a deck. It's really easy to play, though, so it makes sense why people would like to play it, and Jynxzi would like to play it, because it's kind of easy to get the hang of, I feel like. But yeah, I'm very surprised at his improvement, and I want to see if this deck is actually as good as it seems like it's been. This guy does have the Empress. I'm just going to go for the minions, trying to get on the Empress. One of them did die, but we do get a couple little minions. Bowler is going to kill the Goblins right there, and I feel like the Cannoneer is also really good for this deck, guys. The thing about this deck is that I feel like each card in the deck is very basic. Like, you play the Bowler when you see a big push you want to line up on, or you play Guards when there's like a Prince or a Bandit or something, and you have like the air defense with the minions and stuff, and also the pushes are relatively simple as well. Let's go in for the Furnace in the back right here. He does go for his own Furnace, but I think we'll be okay. I really do like the Cannoneer in this meta. I think Jynxzi actually started to do way better with Giant Graveyard right as he took out the Princess Tower and put Cannoneer instead, because Cannoneer is just so strong against Furnace, against Spirit Empress. Without Cannoneer, you can't really deal with some of those stuff when you're playing Giant Graveyard. Bowler should get a really nice lineup here, actually. We can just minions on this Ram Rider, and it should deal with most of it. We'll take a bit of damage, but it doesn't really matter that much. Yeah, nice. Okay, let's go for a Giant as well, guys, because I feel like he kind of overspent right there. Yeah, he overspent heavily. Oh, the Ground Empress. Wait, we can just arrows it. It does do mad damage, honestly, but Bowler gets on the tower there. Giant's pounding away as well. Bro, that tower's almost gone. See, this feels so easy, guys. Like, I'm not even much of a Giant graveyard player, but it seems to be working really well, even at top ladder. Oh, guys, I'm feeling interesting right now, man. In my last video, I said for a short second about how one of my friends is single and he's looking for someone. So I was asking you guys if you know anyone I could set my friend up with, because he's basically just really shy, but I think he wants to find someone, right? But he's just like really shy. So I'm just trying to set him up, kind of. And then I got a few people who DM'd me. And then I responded to them, and I was kind of excited because I'm like, okay, I can finally set him up with someone. But then, no, I replied to them. They said, like, oh, I know a girl. And they said, I'll send a picture. And I'm just like, all right. I just said, okay. Then they sent me the picture, and it's a freaking berserker, bro. They sent me a berserker. They sent me, like, a firecracker. An ugly orange-haired beast of a berserker. Dude, it feels like so far this deck is really just playing itself, guys. I have not even made really many spectacular plays at all, and yet we're still doing so well. Also, man, this deck pairs so well with the new Furnace, guys, because you have the Furnace, which doesn't even die to Fireball, and it's pretty spell resilient, but even if you do face something that counters it, like the Poison, then you just have so much Poison bait with the minions, for example. You have the Graveyard. You just have so much, I feel like, with this deck to put your opponent in a weird spot and make them make choices about what they want to spell down and stuff like that. We're going to get some nice arrows here on his minions. We could go for our own minions as well. Let's see if he has the arrows or not. If he doesn't have arrows, the minions are actually going to get really good value. Nice, look at that, man. I'm so surprised it took out a Lava Hound that quickly. You know, guys, since he wasted the Barbarians, we could maybe get a nice Giant Graveyard push here soon. It's really hard to get a Giant Graveyard push into Barbs, but now that they're out of cycle, something could work here. Now, guys, it's kind of bad to cycle something like a Furnace when you know your opponent has an air deck, but I feel like this is just going to give us the perfect opportunity to actually go in now for this push. So I think that was actually worth it. We're just going to get our arrows down for his Goblin Curse, and it looks like we're probably going to take this man's whole tower. Oh my gosh. And for what? Like, what did I even do to deserve that? I don't even know. I just got some really good minions, and that's really all there was to it, I guess. Wait, no. Okay, I was going to say if his minions got on my tower, that would have been kind of bad, but yeah, we're going to snowball the tower here and fully take it out. All right, guys, I'm going to go for this set of guards here because he does go for the barbs in the back. I feel like this guy's going to make one more huge hound push. Yeah, he goes for the hound again. It's not game over because I don't know if there's any way that we're going to defend this hound push. He's probably going to make an absolutely massive push right here, which is going to be hard to stop. He does get the curse right there. Nice! The Fire Spirit somehow came in clutch for us right there. We do get one minion to survive, which is actually very nice as well. We could just get this set of guards down for the Empress, and I think we'll probably be fine right here, guys. I feel like he might get some damage, but probably not enough to take the win. Yeah, he just can't really seem to deal with our stuff. He can deal with either our Furnace or our minions, but just not both of them, so that's going to be game over. Ball right, let's play some Clash Royale. You know what, guys? I actually might get the Jynxzi haircut one of these days, man. If I hit some certain goal, like I set some goal and we reach it, I might actually get the Jynxzi haircut and just go bold. I don't know, if you guys want me to. Anyways, we're facing Logbait right here, guys. Logbait is actually a little bit challenging for Cannoneer, so let's see how we can do with it. With Cannoneer against Bait. We do have a couple of good spells, though. I feel like I always hear Jynxzi saying how Bait is such a hard matchup for him, but I feel like when you have Bowler, Snowball, and Arrows, you do have plenty of responses that can shut down the Bait decks pretty nicely, even though our tower's going to suck against it. Wait, the Graveyard maybe can distract the Prince if we're lucky? No, it doesn't. I was hoping one of the skeletons would spawn right next to the Prince, and then it would allow us to just distract it nicely, but unfortunately that's not the case. I think minions will be enough to take down the Prince right here, but we're going to have to get some guards down as well. He might get a really... Yeah, that's a really good Dark Goblin. Maybe I could have waited for a second on the guards so he couldn't get a Dark Goblin hitting them and also our other minions. Cannoneer should take out the Dark Goblin pretty quickly. Yeah, not too bad of a start. We're just going to have to play a little bit defensive here, I think. Guys, with Giant Graveyard, you definitely do have to change your gameplay quite a bit in certain matchups. Like, sometimes you can literally just spam Giant Graveyard the bridge over and over, but other times you actually have to play some really good defense and just get a push going at the perfect time, because you can get pretty heavily punished sometimes for going for giant graveyards in the wrong matchups, so you definitely have to be a player who can adapt a lot, I guess, in order to actually play it to its fullest capability. Now, you could still play it regardless, but if you want to actually get the full effect out of this deck, I think it's important. Bro, this Dark Comet is running every which way. I could snowball the guards, but I think I won't, because I feel like it wouldn't really help my graveyard get that much damage anyways. We do get a few nice Fire Spirits there on the tower, and was that Princess always on the right side, or did it just switch lanes? I didn't really notice. His guards here should die, so I think we're in a pretty good spot. You guys can see here that we're mostly trying to go in for the graveyards only when we have a counter push going, guys, because I feel like I saw certain players, like, for example, Jynxzi a while ago, I saw him facing some bait decks, and I feel like he was always just going for, like, lone giant graveyards, but you can see here, I'm mostly just getting the giant graveyards whenever I already have some sort of troop down, like a bowler, for example, or something like that, at least, to make sure that I don't experience a very heavy counter push. We do get a couple of Fire Spirits on the tower, almost taking it fully down, but guys, we don't really have any tanks if he tries to go in for something here, so this could get a little interesting. Yeah, so he does go in for this here. I think I have the giant same lane. I would have preferred to kite it, but I feel like the Fire Spirit would have diverted the Prince's attention a little bit. That's why I didn't do what I wanted to do. He's going to have to respond to the bowler here. He does go for a Berserker. Okay. The nice thing about this deck, guys, is that you can kind of just slow roll the bowler in the back same lane, and no deck can really push into a bowler very nicely, so I feel like it's always fun to just get that going in the back, and your opponent just has to sit there and watch for a while. Guys, I think we could maybe just get a giant graveyard at the bridge, man. This should be able to take his tower if we go for an Evo Snowball as well. I guess he gets the guards down and stuff, but look, we just Evo Snowball here. We could get a set of arrows down. I don't even care about activating this guy's King Tower. Okay, nice, we just take the win. I know some of you guys might say in the comment section that you can't do as well as Jynxzi with this deck because you don't have a Riley in your left pocket, but to be fair, guys, Jynxzi has actually been doing really, really well on ladder, even without Riley actually coaching him. And I mean, he got Riley coaching him before, so he learned a lot of tips and stuff from Riley, but I feel like a lot of you guys can also just learn the things that Jynxzi learned just by watching the videos of people like Riley and and I'm sure there's also a lot of other Clash Royale YouTubers who you can learn from as well. Now, I feel like I haven't really made a video on Giant Graveyard for a while. I don't really think Riley has either, but heck, maybe I will, and even from this video here, I'll probably show you guys some useful tips, so yeah. Oh wow, this guy does have Graveyard himself. Unfortunately, though, he has Princess Tower and we have Cannoneer, so that's actually a big disadvantage for us here. But I feel like Cannoneer is just so necessary in this deck, in this meta. Wait, guys, maybe we can go in for a Graveyard. Yeah, because he wasted the poison. I could Giant, but I feel like this Graveyard is maybe more likely to do something. We're going to get a nice Snowball right here, pushing the Empress kind of to the opposite side, actually, and obviously just slowing it down quite a bit. Very good bowler damage, and Empress is actually getting outranged a little bit. We could get our minions down for defense. That should be more than enough here, and it will also get us a nice counter push. The Cannoneer Tower just does such a good job of shutting down counter pushes, I feel like, guys, because you can just afford to be so much more aggressive when you have it. For this Furnace here, I think we can mostly just ignore it. When you're playing Cannoneer, you just have to get used to ignoring a lot of stuff, because realistically, you can get away with most things when you have the Cannoneer Tower. Kind of a random Giant plus Guards push here. I didn't really realize he would have Cannon in his deck, but it's fine. It's not really a terrible trade for us. We take out the Cannon. Guards, I guess, are going to fall right here, but that's okay. Now, we do have our Evo Furnace. I feel like he might Graveyard, so I might have to end up wasting it, guys, but... Oh, shoot, no! I didn't mean to drop it. He does go for the poison anyways, though. Alright, I want a Graveyard, but my cycle is just so awkward right now, guys. I guess I'll just go in for that Graveyard right here. We do get a nice Evo Snowball. Maybe not the best arrows ever. It's okay, though. Bowler's going to actually get a nice lineup on the tower, I believe. Yes! And we hit all the Fire Spirits, too, guys. And I think this Evo Furnace might be able to just die to our Bowler, for the most part, anyways. Just gotta worry about this Spirit Empress for the most part. He does go in for the poison there, which is kind of good for us, actually. Let's just go for this down low. We do kill his Furnace there, and we don't really have to worry about his second Furnace too much either, I feel like. Let's just get our minions down right here, and then I say we just go in for a Graveyard. You see, the more aggressive we're being, the better it is for us, because he can't really go in for his own graveyard when I'm busy forcing out his poisons and stuff like that on our graveyards. I guess he does get a pretty good defense right here, but look at that damage that we still get. Also, it's going to be really good to go for the opposite lane furnaces right here, because if he poisons it, then he just can't really make a push for a while, so it feels like it's always worth it for us. Alright, he does go in for that graveyard. We could just get this down, get our minions for his berserker. Honestly, I have no idea how we're going to do right here on this defense. We do relatively well. Not that bad, actually. We could just go in for the giant graveyard now, because his left side tower should get tanked for by the bowler, and he missed the cannon! Nice! Just a single misplay against giant graveyard, and oftentimes that's all that that's all it is, you know? That's just going to be game over if you make a misplay like that.